Everybody's working for the weekend.
Do. Everybody wants a second chance. Wow.
I stare into the rearview mirror, watching for any signs of tail lights in our wake. Leo's driving, of course. Carl's feeling woozy after everything that happened. I wish I was sitting in the back with him, but unfortunately my legs are too long.
See, once again,
He's a giant man.
I'm shipping it. I'm shipping it hard.
Yeah.
He wants to sit in the back next to his
always
boyfriend.
thinks about Carl.
He's always thinking about Carl. We know that because we're in his brain now. So.
Is it really shipping if they just actually slept together? I guess they're not currently in a romantic relationship explicitly. It's just Carl's gonna be really sad if he leaves.
Oh, woo.
He's gonna be alone in this town with all the murder. That and Leo's van is clearly not designed for folks with thick tails, so I gotta sit with my cheeks straddling the edge to make room.
Yeah, I do wonder if certain car companies would like have a certain demographic and try to like, in the same way that some car companies like target like moms and they're soccer moms and all their kids and stuff, and people who go camping and want to put stuff in the back of their cars. But
Poor
it's like,
Chase.
Maybe it's like I want to target reptiles with my car design.
Well, I'm just like, poor Chase has been having to use this vehicle forever.
Oh, yeah, that it would be a problem.
Unless it was different. Didn't Leo used to have a truck?
Yeah.
He had a van in Route 65, but I think he had a truck.
Oh, no, I think it's Flynn has a truck.
I'm trying to remember.
Wait.
Well, I'm trying to remember the vehicle that Leo and Chase used in the TJ story at the church. Like, did that I feel like it was a truck, but maybe that just feels intuitive because a van feels like a weird thing to have. I don't know.
I don't know either.
He's sitting in between Jenna and TJ with Dax and Chase in the back.
Dax has a thick tail too.
Yep. There's been some chatter about what happened, and what's bullshit and not bullshit. TJ's the only one who's been quiet. The one thing is for certain, with everything that's happened, everyone seems pretty focused on getting out of town. Leo doesn't floor it like I expect him to, but we moved down the bench of the mountain and through the town speedily enough. That threw me because in this context, if you say bench, I'm thinking like in the van.
Like
the seats
like
are
the back
benches.
seat. Yeah.
So I grew up riding in a shitty van all the time. It was our company upholstery van, and it was just one bench up front with dubious seat belts, and then the entire back was just empty because you had to haul things around in it. But he upgraded to an Avalanche later, which is just an easier thing than having to deal with owning a van. I see Jenna look out her own window intently, and I can only imagine it's to see if she can spot Jeremy. Maybe even her mother.
Dude, I don't feel good.
That's just 50% of Carl's lines.
I was gonna say, I think Carl's like thrown up like by far the most of anyone in this entire playthrough.
He's been in various states of that most of the story.
He's been ill quite a lot.
Chase got bit by a black widow and he's been complaining less than you, Carl. Speaking of, how are you holding up, Otter? Chase gives a half-hearted thumbs up, the mucilid's forehead resting against the side of the window. Carl, just puke on the floor if you have to. I don't think Leo's gonna stop.
Oh.
Not even out the window. Just puke on the ground. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah, dude, like, why not the window? At least do the window.
Yeah, it's just the murder van. Who cares? This van caused everything, if it is the same one. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't think this...
I guess it's not the same van because there was a van at the scene of... No.
That's not the
van, because that was specifically said that it was not the same van.
Yeah, that's
the one that caused the
accident with Samuel.
When Sydney's dad killed himself, that was not that. There was a comment that was not the same van, but it evoked the thing and fucked him up. So I'm still wondering if this is the same van that killed Samuel. Specifically because there was a scene where simultaneously Leo and Micah were fucking in the back, and Sydney's dad and Miss Adler were in the front, about to run over Samuel, and I'm like, is this just doing a parallel between two different vans, or was it literally the same van and the memories that it has? What's her name?
Who?
The cafe owner,
Oh,
Adler.
Oh, fuck. I want to say Doris, but it's definitely not Doris.
No.
It's, God, Janice.
Janice.
I like Janice.
Yeah. Have we even seen Janice in this route?
No. We have not seen Janice in this route at all.
Carl leans over and puts his head between his knees, groaning.
See, I was sorry, I was glad we didn't see Janice because I started voicing Flynn's aunt in the
Same
southern
voice. Yeah.
female accent that I have, and only have like a couple of those. And so I was like, okay, I hope. And when during that mob scene, I was like, oh, I hope Janice doesn't show up because I'll have to voice both of them back to back, and she did not show up.
So that happens to me in Final Fantasy XIV, where eventually sometimes there's just 20 people in one room, and I'm like, I give up. I give up separating these voices. It's too much.
It's like how there's a very specific voice actor who voiced a character in The Weekenders when I was a child, which was a one Saturday morning cartoon on Disney. But he voices like 30 people in Skyrim, and every time he shows up, even if he tries to mask his voice, I'm like, that's my boy again. That's my boy. And so like the first time I ever played it, I was like, oh, it's that guy. And I started pointing out every single time it was the same guy because I could hear it no matter what he did.
That gets TJ's attention. He starts rubbing the ram's back slowly.
Good thing smoothies probably aren't too bad on the way out.
TJ frowns.
I puked up a smoothie. It's not great.
I turned the dial on the radio, but like the cell phone signal, I'm not getting anything. For now, I just turn up the AC and aim it up toward my face. My head's still throbbing up a storm. This feels like a dream, doesn't it? Leo speaks softly, too quiet for anyone behind us to hear. I wouldn't know. You locked Chase in a spider-infested room, then lied to us about it. I sigh, crossing my forearms over the dashboard and leaning my face into them. I'm not in the mood for this shit, Leo. Then you risk your life to save him. Like with a gun and everything, straight out of a scene in those westerns we used to watch. Peyton Access Channel, remember? Scooter guy back there reminded me of Deputy Jack from Tumbleweed Armadillo with his whole speech. I craned my head up a little, raising a brow at the wolf. He seems pretty focused on the road. Daxton and Chase are muttering about something in the back of the van, but I can't make any of that out.
So it is, yeah, it is a, no.
But why? I mean, you could have finally gotten your revenge or whatever, yeah? It's hard to read the big wolf's expression. He's certainly different than his previous bullshit persona, as the cheery spring break patriarch. He seems old, way older than he actually is. Fucking hell, Leo, I don't want Chase dead. My tone comes out more tired and exasperated than genuinely angry. I just want the truth. Leo lets out a large breath through his nostrils, then slightly nods. Yeah. To be honest, I didn't even think about Sydney when I set this all up, you know? Of course you didn't. Leo never really was one to dwell much on Sid's death, beyond saying he'd protect the rest of us because of what happened. Basically said shit was fucked up enough already, so you might as well try to stay positive and cherish what you've got now. What he had was otter ass, so I'm sure that made it easier. There's a long pause. And... I rubbed the back of my frilled head. Never mind. Nothing. Another long silence. Dax gives Chase a bottle of water, and Carl starts to play a game on his phone. A few minutes later, we're already passing the lake. That can't be good.
Yeah, that's
Something bad's gonna happen right now, I'm
seems like
sure.
an ominous event. Huh. So is it Sunday already? It's Sunday morning?
That's what the clock says.
Carl's like, I'm missing all my cartoons. What a fucking day.
I don't say anything in response. We never got to ask Flynn's aunt about the thing.
We could always go back and ask.
What? No, I feel
like we haven't heard from TJ in a while.
Yeah, well, he was there. People were shooting guns near him.
And TJ's just standing there, like, He's kidding, TJ.
Oh. The Lynx stares at the space between his knees.
Do you actually think she'd know anything about it, Flynn?
I don't know.
She and Mark knew enough about what happened with that body, though.
Carl shivers and puts his head back down while TJ continues to rub his back. A few minutes of silence go by before Carl speaks up again.
That feels kind of nice. Reminds me of my mom.
Yeah, actually, my mom did that too. Thought it might help.
Hey, I love you, just so you know. All of you guys. I'm glad we're getting out of here. Fuck it, I'm going back to Pueblo.
I raise a brow ridge at the ram.
It was a brow ridge instead of eyebrow.
Yeah.
And I'm taking you with me.
He points a thick finger toward me, leaning forward enough that he pokes me in the shoulder. I restrain a smile, instead letting out an idle grunt. Me? College? What a thought. The idea of being around guys my age. And Carl.
Ooh. Guys my age and Carl?
I'm not even sure what the hell I'd major in. Definitely not
journalism.
Definitely not fucking poli-sci.
What's poli-sci?
Political science, I think?
Oh, political science, yeah.
Took me a moment to think that.
Yeah, me too. I was like...
thinking the prefix poly, I'm like, multi-science?
I was thinking
what does that mean?
I was thinking like math.
I just got a science degree, you know, in science.
Polograms.
I've got a doctorate in science. You know, the science.
It's like in Seinfeld when like George Costanza is like, oh yeah, no, I work in plastic in exporting and importing, in movement in shipping. Like he just has like a vague idea of like what his like fake persona is supposed to do.
Oh no. I squeeze my wrist trying to refocus. I love you too, Carl. And everyone else.
You too, Captain Daxton.
Something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, as soon as Carl was like, I'm going back to college, and I'm taking you with me,
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
my last day before retirement. I love all you guys so much.
I love
this
you
is
guys.
Such an important relationship.
I'm not gonna die. Captain? Oh, I was promoted. Cool.
Daxton seems distracted, watching Chase stare at his own fingertips.
Daxton's like, I gotta tell my horse boyfriend that I got promoted. Ooh.
Yeah. Chase affirms his love for everyone with a groggy monotone.
Brian, I love you.
Jenna glances back at them before turning her attention out of her window. Leo doesn't say anything from the front, is focused solely on the road ahead of him. This is such an everything's fine and everything's going to be fine scene, which is a rough thing to see seconds after a monster in the mines a second ago. You're like, this doesn't go well. They're not going to make it.
Us as the players saw the red monster.
Yeah,
they have not seen it yet.
I'm just like, there's no way the game's over. This is not them sitting down to have like pink lemonade and a sundae at the diner. Like, it's not over. Are we at the clinic yet? Still about 20 minutes out. I watch the desert whip by us, for the first time feeling somewhat safe as the town disappears behind us.
That's a bad sign, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel safe.
But of course, it doesn't last long.
What's that? On the side of the road there.
Hmm? Leo turns his head in the direction of something on the curb up ahead. We all do.
Uh-oh.
What is that? Oh my gosh! TJ covers his mouth. Carl sits up straight, trying to see. Leo slows down as we pass. There's Chase's car, all of the windows shattered. And there's Duke, lying a dozen feet away from the open door on the driver's side.
Wait a minute.
What?
In the other playthrough,
He stole Chase's car
yeah,
in Leo's route.
Yeah.
And then died this way.
And we saw him on the side of the road.
Why does he have Chase's
like
car this time?
I don't think there's a reason.
Where was Chase's car? Didn't they all came in... Chase didn't take his car to
I think Chase's car was probably still
at
at the hotel. It probably was still at the hotel.
I'm trying to remember, because it's been ages now, when they first got to town hall and the confession happened and Chase got locked in the spider cabinet. Chase was...
But was he wasn't in his car when they showed up that...
Okay, no, that was Chase's car, because that was the same... They went there from the print shop. And Chase drives... I'm pretty sure Chase drives Carl to the job interview.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that was Chase's car. So Duke stole Chase's car
didn't
from
Flynn
the parking lot because it was still at the...
I don't know.
Maybe Flynn was driving?
I thought maybe Flynn drove him in this route, but Chase was still there.
I'm trying to think of whether or not Duke could get Chase's car. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember which vehicle they specifically
I don't know where
scene.
Chase's car was.
Yeah. He just stole it from the motel. I mean, it's walking distance. Technically.
I guess it doesn't really make too much difference where he steals it from. The point is that he steals Chase's car.
I don't see how Duke could get ahead of them.
I don't think. I mean, in terms of like,
they left Duke at the scene and drove here.
Yeah, but
so I don't see how Duke could get a car in the first place and get ahead of them to begin with. So I'm wondering if this is meant to be like some dimension hopping shit. Like, is this Duke from Leo's route dead? Is that what's happening? Like some nonsense? Because we're already dealing with a looping street. There's weird shit happening here.
I mean, perhaps, maybe... Yeah, but I mean, like, what kind of, it wouldn't be a lot of reward for you if you hadn't played the route already where that happens. I mean, maybe they
Sure, I mean, that's just part of unpacking of the mysteries. Every route gives you partial information that will make sense later, potentially. And there's Duke, lying a dozen feet away with the open door of the driver's side. And there, crouching over him, is something I can't explain. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
It's the Trevor Henderson monster again. We missed you. It's been a while.
I do really like him.
I think we last saw you, like, last December or something.
Oh, shit.
It's been a while. We started Echo for last year's Halloween event.
Well,
like last October. It's been a long playthrough.
Sorry, y'all.
So it's like to read a whole book, and a long book at that. Hairless, body and limbs long, way too long.
Yeah, way, way, way too long, dude.
The head comes up, and all I see are 3 holes and blood. TJ screams next to me, and Leo shouts something before stepping on the gas, slamming me back into my seat. I try to look back, but whatever it was is gone. At least, it's gone from where it was, because I see something move next to my window, and I turn to face it, and it stares back at me. But only for a moment. That thing, whatever the fuck it is, disappears almost the instant I register that it's there. I'm only staring out into the blackness of the desert. Still. 3 holes, eyes, and a mouth blink back at me in a sort of after image before that too vanishes. It's him! It's him! It's him! It's him! TJ reaches up and grabs my arm, claws out. I'm too shocked to even pull away as TJ leans forward next to me, staring out my window. So TJ's saying it's the thing he saw before Sydney died.
Yeah, yeah.
Which nobody else was taking that part seriously, that there was some sort of creature.
Everyone kind of glanced over it when they were listening to TJ recount the events.
Or more specifically, everyone's like, fucking take this seriously. What are you talking about? But then the details about Chase came out, and then that erased.
That overshadowed everything
Yeah, no one remembered
else.
the rest of the story at that point. At least I know I'm not the only one that saw it. TJ squeaks again when no one answers him. It's real?
I don't know. Some kind of animal, maybe.
Never seen anything like that before.
Dude could have had a disease? Like lost all of his fur or something? Maybe Duke hit it.
But it was walking! How's Duke here? He was back at City Hall!
Well, there you go.
Okay, so something's fucked up and weird. I think this is Leo's route.
Like we crossed over into Leo's route?
Yeah. I think we're in Leo's route somehow. Like something fucked up and weird is going on. Because even they're acknowledging, like, Duke can't be ahead of them. Let alone already, like, not enough time to have already been, like, had an encounter with the creature and died and have this whole scene play out. Like, he was not ahead of us.
Maybe it dragged him?
Faster than our car? How do you get Chase's car?
See, there you go again.
I still have my keys on me. That's impossible.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the keys part.
It's weird to give Chase a voice this late in. Now that he's a separate character.
Well, it's funny, because you've been voicing Chase the whole time.
Yeah.
But now he's like, I can tell like you're voicing him more like innocently.
They described him as like small and young seeming.
Yeah,
like something was up.
He's free now.
Like he's
from
regressed
his
or something.
Brain shackles from Samuel.
Yeah.
Could have hotwired it. I don't know, man.
TJ leans back, looping his arm around Carl's, and I can see him shaking. I look over my shoulder through the back window. Jesus fuck. Just like Dax described. It's the socket man.
Daxton's here this time for it. He has to deal with this. There! We've all seen it. It's how I remember, but I don't remember it ever moving that fast.
How you remember?
Her red man, maybe?
Yeah, I was like, I was under the impression that Jenna's imaginary friend thing was different.
I thought so too.
Than the socket creature.
Because it was red. Like, I thought it was different.
Yeah.
Or with, blood.
Jenna wrings her paws together, speaking quietly. Her tone is thoughtful and worried, as if she tried to rationalize this all to herself. Fuck! That's what got Salem, isn't it? Jesus. Don't fucking take your foot off the gas, Leo. Leo doesn't respond, staring hard ahead. He's squeezing on the wheel so hard it looks like it's bending. I pull back the hammer on the repeater, holding the rifle across my chest, the barrel pointing towards the window. I remember Duke's pistol that I stowed in the car door holder earlier. That's hard to say.
Stowed in the car door holder earlier.
That's a hard sentence to say out loud. I grab it and I toss it in the back seat. There's a lot of sentences that technically work on paper, and what I always have to do is I have to read my scripts out loud before I finish revising my essays, because I always have to rewrite every sentence to be speakable, because there's so many weird things that will throw you off if you don't revise them to be spoken.
Well, even just like in this, like in the last scene with all the people gathering around forming a mob, there's like a lot of sentences that I was like, oh, those are hard to read out loud. They're a little bit of a tongue twister.
Car door hook hand car. I grab it and toss it in the back seat. Jenna grabs it without hesitation, aiming out the opposite side. This just turned into Time Crisis 2. Let's go.
Oh, hell yeah.
The best arcade game ever made.
That, Time Crisis 2 is the best one.
It's so good. Like, why would you play other games, especially shooters?
I went to one recently where, like, one of the guns was broken, and it was the one that I chose. And I was like, disappointing. Yeah.
No, we played Time Crisis 2 at Las Vegas FurCon, and that one was really fucked up. It was really disappointing.
I wonder who maintenances those. I'm sure there's like a company that does it specifically.
I was just sad. It's such a fun game.
The company's probably formed of like 3 people now who are repairmen for Time Crisis 2 specifically. This is freaking nuts.
Santa's going nuts! Sorry. At this point, Chase's car is a good distance away. Only Sorry. That's all I can think about. Have you seen that before? Susie, we got a jingle jangle situation up. We got a jingle jangle problem on our hands. Santa's going nuts.
No, but your iteration of it made me laugh.
Stupid, insane 10 seconds of nonsense.
Jingle jangle situation.
We got a jingle jangle problem on our hands. Santa's going nuts.
Nuts.
It's nonsense.
Keith contorts when he thinks something is funny. It's like his reenactment of it. Like you can see like the smile on his face before he does it, and he like curls in on himself, and then he like acts it out. It's very cute.
Sorry, we're ruining this horror scene.
Yes, sorry everyone.
It's just Daxton's line was funny.
Friggin' nuts.
At this
Dude,
point,
you guys are in danger. Say fucking. Please just say fucking.
Yeah.
Daxton, come on.
That's part of it, is the fucking not swearing.
Gosh darn, this is freaking nuts.
The TJ-ification of the world. This fucking Asperger's and nuts. Fuck, what's it called? Asperger's and fries. I think it's like. At this point, Chase's car is a good distance away, only visible because the headlights are on. A streak of light fading out across the desert. Duke's dead, isn't he?
Blech.
Oh no.
Blech.
Oh, dry is good. Oh, not. Okay. I don't know why I used the word dry then. Some dry retching noises followed by heavy splattering sounds cuts me off.
Well, because dry retches start first, and then you vomit. You like, and then bleh. Like it's like your stomach's like working it up. It's like a pump, you know.
I guess it never happens to me.
I work on aquariums a lot, so it's like you have like when you're siphoning, you have like
I've retched
all the
before,
air,
but I don't dry retch when I'm actually gonna throw up. I just go. Also, my brother and I have the problem where we fucking scream vomit.
I
and I hate
like
that.
I said, I've heard you guys both.
I hate that I throw up loudly. It's upsetting. Carl is hunched over in the seat, head between his legs. It isn't hard to figure out what just happened, especially when the smell hits me.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh, Carl!
TJ, we have more things to worry about right now.
TJ is torn between blanching away and comforting the ram. Carl comes back up, looking like he's about to say something before driving forward again. Oh, gross. Just remembering what happened last time. Remember what happened last time?
In terms of what?
Carl threw up in the van, and then we saw the monster on the hill on the horizon, and then in like 2 seconds it closed the gap and hit us.
Oh.
And knocked us in the water.
Yeah.
So they were swimming in Carl vom.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think about that the first time.
Just like ah.
Well, maybe that'll happen again.
Oh.
Since we're reliving things.
Reliving it somehow. Carl comes back up, looking like he's about to say something before diving forward again. That's interesting because, like, on some level, I've wanted to criticize the fact that in Jenna's route, they just replay the same Brian scene with Leo and Chase.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all the same dialogue and descriptions up until the part where he starts sewing them together, and that changes things. There's a few moments where, like, Jenna reacts to Jeremy, which wasn't there because she wasn't there the first time. But most of the scene is literally the same text. And I was like, what's up with this being the same text? Like, it feels kind of lazy that they reuse the same scene. But in this context, this is impossible. This can't be happening. So the fact that it's reusing the same text is like, wait, they're doing something. Which retroactively makes me look back at the Jenna scene. I'm like, wait, they were doing something, weren't they? I think this was like a thing they're doing on purpose. Because those are two separate routes, both written by McSkinney, that both feature a copy and pasted scene. With modifications, obviously, like them acknowledging that this doesn't make sense in this case, but this is the same text as Leo's route, except for the parts that are new characters that weren't there last time. Like, I don't think TJ or Daxton were here, or Jenna. I'm trying to remember who was there exactly, but the entire description of Duke and everything is the same, and I think even the description of like Flynn's body hitting the seat as he accelerates was just the Chase. It was just Chase's perspective last time with the same text, even.
Yeah, no, a lot of this I think is similar, just with a different perspective.
Yeah. So now I'm curious because now they're doing stuff. It makes me. It's funny because I'm just thinking about how many people have the restraint not to spoil things for me whenever I talk about any particular thing or like any of the past moments where I've criticized that scene. Like, oh, it's weird that they just copy pasted the text. Like, it's really noticeable.
Like, dude, like,
it's like a
bless their hearts, man. Because like the amount of restraint I'm sure they probably had to pull with you.
Yeah.
They're probably out there listening. It's like, good on you.
Toaster's just been vibrating for a year. Just like, just get to the game. Just beat it. Just talk about the game.
It's like, oh, is someone calling you? It's like, no, that's just Toaster in the passenger
that's
seat.
Toaster's ambient vibrations. He's always like that. Carl comes back up, looking like he's about to say something before diving forward again. A much louder retch, followed by a much quieter plopping sound follows. I don't like the word plopping.
Plopping is a bad...
No,
it's a gross
I don't like
word.
that. No. I grimace, feeling my own stomach roll. Oh, no, you had Grimace's birthday shake? That was a mistake. The way that people ran with that until they literally started doing Rule 34 of the Grimace shake, and then
God.
like extended smut stories that are both smut and horror about the Grimace shake. Like it kept going so far that it became like a cultural moment. I had the shake. It wasn't very good. It was fine.
What flavor was it?
Shake flavored.
What the fuck does that mean? Vanilla?
I don't really.
Purple? It just tastes like purple.
You know, a lot of shakes just feel sweet. That's it. Especially fast food shakes. Like it's not. You're not getting like a proper like.
So like Cold Stone has a flavor that's called sweet cream.
Yeah. And
it's honestly just my favorite, and it's just sweet cream, I guess. But it's like, what flavor is it? I'm like, I don't know, sweet cream. Is it like that? It just tastes like sweet cream?
I don't remember what Cold Stone tastes like. I don't know.
Well, no, well, I
usually get the apple pie one.
Yeah, but you know what sweet cream tastes like? Just in real life, like
just the concept of cream.
Yeah, being sweetened like sweet milk,
like vague sweetness,
like condensed milk
maybe?
Or something.
I don't know. I don't have answers for you here. I don't know.
All I know is
all I'm saying is there's a whole genre of like where fucking the Grimace shake became like.
Yeah, you said Rule 34. I'm gonna have to look that up later.
Yeah.
And thanks a lot for that.
There's a lot of corruption and TF going on in that.
Oh God. No.
I grimace, feeling my own stomach roll.
God.
Daxton's looking up at them, a paw on his nose.
That's how I feel about the Grimace shake.
Because it was Kudzu
Rule
was here.
34 porn.
I don't think Kudzu said this is friggin' nuts though.
You okay, man?
But I wonder if these are literally Kudzu's lines.
I really wonder that now.
Carl keeps his head down a while longer, his fingers twisted into the fabric of his shorts. TJ tentatively rubs his back.
I would have done it at the window. I don't want to open any of the windows now, though.
It's okay. Leo, are there any napkins up there?
Oh no! See, I think this did happen because I think I laughed about this the first time. I think this was a part of the Leo's route because I think I laughed about this the first time.
We didn't know about the napkins in Leo's route. The napkins are from Jenna's route.
Shit.
So this, if anything, this feels like a retroactive joke that was added.
Yeah, basically.
Because Jenna's route
Carl,
was
you don't
last.
want those napkins, bro.
Leo has been silent up till now. Remains silent.
Because he has a feeling that the napkins are tainted and he does not want them.
He
has a bad feeling.
He's staring out the windshield hard, paws on the wheel in a death grip for wildly different reasons than we think.
Now he's panicking about explaining why the napkins are crusty.
He's just thinking like, don't look in the dash, don't look in the dash, don't look in the dash.
Don't say nothing, say
don't
nothing,
look at the glove
say
cover.
nothing,
Don't look,
don't
discover. Conceal, don't feel. Chase, meanwhile, is clutching at his chest, his eyes red and bleary. He leans forward, and the sound of something wet hitting the fabric floor mat is audible throughout the cabin.
Oh god, everyone's just fucking puking now.
Chase is?
Yeah.
Chase's puke sounds much less wet than Carl's. The wretch is more grotesque. I can practically feel the bile in my own esophagus. I don't like imagining any element of what's happening right now. Like, the horrifying monster you can't see that can keep up with cars is already a problem, but just like everyone taking turns throwing up in the same car, like, third reason Leo has a death grip on the wheel. He's trying to just push through this mess. Like, the way it smells in this room.
Dude.
But Chase's puke is worse because he hasn't eaten for like a day. He was like locked in that.
So it is just all bile.
It's bad. Like, he was locked in
and he was bit by black widows. Maybe it just makes the vomit more like toxic.
He's poisoned and or envenomated.
Envenomated? That sounds sexy.
He's been poisoned and he's been starved and sweated out, just thrown aside in a closet where he was then poisoned again. Because also Flynn sprayed him with insecticide.
I mean,
I don't know how he fucked up that bad where he didn't see a person in there. Flynn.
Man, yeah, Chase is definitely all fucked up.
Yeah, it's amazing he didn't throw up sooner, honestly, given that part.
But throwing up on an empty stomach definitely smells less bad than throwing up with food in your gut. But either way, horrible experience.
Yep, no one's happy.
I've driven to Disneyland with a kid that threw up in the back seat, and man, you can't cover up the smell of a person throwing up rancid milk in the back seat. No matter how many like little sachets of lavender you buy at the gas station, it doesn't cover up anything. And guess what? You have to drive the whole way there and the whole way back.
Just cover it up. I've got lavender. I'm holding up the Amicus fucking Huff Aromas bottle.
You could try to.
We still need to make a video about this. I've been sitting on this for too long. It came to my P.O. box ages ago, and I was like, I should make a video with Stephanie of this mess.
I'll just
smell it.
Ooh, lavender smells good. I can't imagine it smelling bad. I hope it's kind of musky.
I think that's the idea.
Lavender and musk?
I've shown you the art on that website. It's all very musky looking. Anyway,
I got little mini samples from Ulta that were all like men's cologne, and I wore one to work the other day because I mean,
trying to finally stop attracting the straight ones.
I work with everyone I work with is basically gay. Like, it's like 90% of the workforce in my building right now, which is great. I transferred to a different store. Everyone there is like it's a much better work environment, I'll tell you that. But I wore the men's cologne, and like everyone's like, "Oh, Stephanie, you smell good." I'm like, "I bet you think I do. I bet you think I do." I'm wearing the men's cologne right now.
R.I.P. the momentum of this action scene, but there's just too many evocative lines.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I smelled good for like 6 hours though. I was really impressed by how long it lasted. That's what I was getting at.
Daxton stopped what he's doing and holds chase. Huck. The otter manages to exclaim in between the bouts of puking.
Drink some water.
During all this, I'm still glancing out the windows. Not head on, though, because I'm honestly fucking terrified I'm going to look straight into those eyes again. We drive in silence for the next 5 minutes with no creature in sight, thankfully. But I don't know what to think right now. There's no way what I saw was some animal like Carl implied. The way it moved, the way it was crouched, and most of all, its face. Never seen anything like it. At least, anything that's not a Halloween costume. Maybe one of the locals dressed up in a costume or something? Is this some sort of shitty prank show? Like that one on the science fiction channel?
That's a really good guess, but man, that's a lot of effort. Like, that kind of costume? Like...
No, it's a full, like, spider animatronic, like, crazy, like, spring-loaded, like, mega limbs. He's, like, up in that thing.
Like, where is the person even in that? It's too skinny for any human being to... Or any critter
it'd have to be, like, a black, like, shadow puppet man. Like, like the, like, Japanese theater where you just have, like, the people in black, like onesie,
I think
or black tights.
In the shadows, basically, like, moving
and there's moving things around. You're supposed to just not think about them. Then how the fuck did it keep up with the car? Were we going that fast? Leo did slow down a little. I keep these thoughts to myself. Everyone looks freaked out enough without any more speculation. I feel trapped, like I'm stuck in a metal box I can barely move in. With a gun I can't aim. If this thing can outrun and rip at cars, nothing is safe. There's a car. Get him! I just have to focus. We're on our way out, and soon I'll be safe in a clinic, police station, or an applauding audience surrounded by my shit ton of cameras. If it's the latter, I'm decking the first fucker that comes out with a microphone.
Whoa, so edgy.
Gonna hit that renegade option. I wonder what percentage of people can make it through Mass Effect 2 without decking the reporter. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. I tried to think about Duke by the car, Salem on the blanket, my aunt out there trying to keep everyone safe. With that thing. I mean, she was doing a good job. She explained, hey, if you drive out there, you can't get away, and also you get murdered. And then here's evidence of the murder. And then you went there. And then you saw a murder, so...
I just feel like maybe the way she... I feel like she could have done it in a more effective way. Just be like, hey, plop, dead body. Hey, guys, don't leave. This is what happens when you leave. Here's why I think that's true. Blah, blah, blah. I feel like she's kind of roundabout about explaining anything.
She got through mostly, but it's a hard thing to convey, because it's never happened before. And seemingly can't. I shake my head, trying to stay watch for any sign of movement. Are you okay, Chase? TJ's arm is still around Carl's, the lynx craning his neck to peer back at the hunched-over otter. I've never been so freaking scared in my life, but yeah. Okay. He also doesn't swear.
I was just thinking.
But we also keep wondering if he's a kid or not. We don't know what Chase's deal is. Like, did he regress all the way back to the last time he actually was himself, which is when he was like 9? I
mean, he usually says fucking, right? Doesn't he? Like, in our experience with him so far?
Chase has never had problems saying fuck, I'm pretty sure.
But also, he's in front of TJ, so maybe he's being nice. But also, like, fuck that right now.
Right now, yeah. If you're like life and death freaking out and a guy just tried to shoot you and also you're throwing up in a car while a monster chases you, I don't think you're thinking about TJ right now very much.
I think TJ should be like,
after having an emotional break while being covered in spiders. What stands out to me is he flinched away from Leo, which is technically in this route Leo has been like threatening with what happened with like Flynn's house and everything, but after that, like, Chase kind of reconciled with Leo at the barbecue at that old house, in his own old house and everything. So the Chase we know is probably not flinching away from Leo, but the Chase from ages ago that wasn't in a relationship with Leo, like, could have a very different reaction to him. I
mean, how kind of fucked up would that be if he was like his like little kid self, having to reconcile with a whole relationship he had with an individual that he wasn't like 100% part of? I mean,
I don't think that Chase is literally 9 now. I'm just saying, like, I think he might have, like, it's like a reset as far as like how much of that was his like personal experience versus stuff that's felt like a dream essentially, or whatever, however this goes for him. Because ironically, for the first time we're not in Chase's head, so we don't know what he thinks about any of this or how he's experiencing it.
When we want to know what he's thinking about it. Which is a shame, because that'd be great right now.
The withholding of information is such a fucking art in these things. It's such a thing to hone.
In any kind of narrative ever, it's like, it is an art for sure.
Chase grasped at his throat and neck, wincing heavily. It's getting harder to breathe.
Hold on, Chase.
No. How can... What? The car lurches as Leo slows us down again. We're reaching Chase's car again. I squint my eyes, attempting to peer past the glare of the headlights' reach and into the darkness beyond. But I don't see anything. Just the road stretching ahead of us. From the back seat, Chase's croaking, high-pitched voice pipes up. What's wrong? Oh, I thought Chase was in the front with us.
I think it's probably 2 seats in the front, 3 seats in the back.
Our 4... Oh, like 3 rows of seats or something.
because isn't it just it's Flynn and Leo in the front, and
the back has Carl, Chase, Jenna, and TJ.
I guess that's at 3. Yeah, I guess
seems like a bit much,
3,
right?
Yeah.
Like, because they threw the gun back to Jenna, so Jenna's in the back.
Or I mean, it could be 3 in the front.
And Carl's in the back, and TJ is rubbing Carl, so Carl's in the back, and TJ's in the back, and Daxton's in the back. Is Daxton in the front? Daxton might be in the front.
Yeah, but even then, there's.
But Daxton's with Chase. So is it Daxton, TJ, Carl, Chase all in the back? And 2 people in the front? Seems like a lot. I don't know. I've lost the sense of space.
I think in terms of number of people, it has to be a 3-road van.
Yeah. Fewer people were interacting with Chase, and he was described as having his head against the window, which inherently feels more visible. So I just thought that... I figured, Leo's driving, and then Flynn's in the middle, and Chase is leaning against the window in the passenger seat.
There should be 7 people, which is not possible to fit in... It has to be 3 rows.
Are we at 7 people? Daxton, Jenna, Carl,
Chase, Flynn,
TJ, Leo. There's 7 people in this car.
Yeah, there's no way it can fit.
So there should definitely be 3 in the front and 5 in the back, or 4 in the back.
Yeah, so it has to be...
Which is rough, but it seems like there's 5 in the back. I don't know who's in the front with Flynn.
But it has to be a 3-road van then.
Yeah, it's either there's 3 rows in this
Unless
van.
someone's sitting on each other's laps in the back seat, which is, because only 3 can fit in the front for sure.
Yeah, maybe some of these people are in the open area. Maybe there's 2 rows and then like a gap for luggage and everything. Like, and some people are just sitting there.
Just sitting on the floor.
Yeah,
like,
I rode back there, but I don't know. And no one was. I've lost all sense of where people are.
It's probably just a 3-road van.
Jenna could be in the back with no seat because she didn't hesitate, snatched up the gun, then pointed out the back window, which would be easier to do if you don't have a seat and you're physically in the back and you can just face the back by putting your back against the seat.
I think it'd be easier if you had a seat because you could aim the gun on top of the seat facing backwards.
This isn't important. It's just
I know it's not.
It just really threw me because I was really sure until recently that Chase was in the passenger seat.
Well, no, because there's a point where Flynn was talking to Leo, but they're saying or opposite. Leo's talking to Flynn, but he's saying it quiet enough so the people in the back couldn't hear him, and he was talking about Chase. So I knew Chase wasn't in the front seat because he was talking in a way that was like about Chase specifically. So I feel like
it's hard to track so many characters. God, there is 7 of them. It's like the most characters ever.
It don't matter. Scooby-Doo van, they're all in there. Like, but Leo and Flynn on the front 2 seats is verified.
That's the only part that's hard. That's easy to track. What's wrong? Leo's quiet for a moment. His face is blank, ears twitching. I don't... Leo turns in his seat, looking out the passenger window, then his own. I'm heading the right way, right? Why'd we stop? TJ sounds panicked. The Lynx turned around in his seat as he stares out the back window. The first time I've seen him in a car without a seatbelt on. Leo goes silent, a look of befuddlement crossing his red and white muzzle. He's looking at the mountains that surround Echo Canyon.
We aren't. Look.
Jenna scoots forward to the edge of her seat, pointing to something outside.
The hills. Those were on our right side a while ago. Must have looped around.
We've been going straight this whole time.
The only way we'd be going back this way is if we got turned around when we hit the main highway. We haven't hit the main highway, have we?
Chase presses his furry cheek against the window, his tired eyes bulging. What in the goddamn? He trails off.
So, we just seamlessly transitioned from going one way to the other without any of us noticing? No. Leo must have gotten off and turned around on the side of the road that I...
There's no way. What? While trying to lean forward to get a better look at the mountains, Leo's elbow pushes down the horn. That was startling. TJ gasps, digging his claws into the fabric of his seat. Please don't do that! It was an accident, I swear. Okay, just... let's be quiet. Okay?
Oh, poor TJ. Leo, we're going the wrong way.
Jenna speaks as calmly as possible, clearly aware that the tension in here is getting increasingly high. Leo brings the car to a hard stop, throwing me forward in the seatbelt. Then he does a quick 3-point turn, shoving me right, then left before I'm smacked back into the seat as Leo accelerates again. I hear a soft thunk of flesh on glass, then a groan from the back, Chase rubbing his face with a sore-looking nose.
Oh, clunked his face.
Injury upon injury. Sorry, Chase.
You okay?
No. He responds back hoarsely, sinking back further into the scratchy fabric of his seat.
Oh, same.
Daxton does a curt nod. The wolf clutches the steering wheel with an iron grip. We both stare out the windshield, eyes to the horizon. Nobody says anything for a while. Even in the silence, I can feel the growing unease from those behind us, the trembling of muscles and clicking of claws. I try to block it out, just focus on watching what's ahead. All things considered, it's not so bad as long as I can keep the fear from clouding my mind. Though, that could be said about most things in life. We just have to keep driving to get out of this fucking town. We can't get sidetracked again, especially with that fucking eyeless thing around. I wonder if it heard the horn earlier. I focus on the mountains now, making sure they don't disappear. They slope up and down gently under the moonlight, speckled with the dark spots of rock and vegetation. Vaguely, I remember back when I was younger, leading Sydney around the bend and entertaining his explorer fantasies. I brought my BB gun and we'd run around, shooting at mesquite trees and looking for signs of lost native treasure. I told him that the pioneers thought that there was a city of gold buried beneath the mountainous topsoil waiting to be unearthed. He fucking loved that. Brought a little trench shovel too, as he put it, dig his own mine. Pretty sure he thought that was the whole reason for Echo's old mine, to find the city and shit. It wasn't a complete lie either. The Hakte tribe supposedly told the conquistador types that treasures and riches were stored aplenty in the Meseta territory around here centuries ago. So it was a lie. It's just based on a lie. Of course, it was so they'd fuck off and bother their rivals instead of them, but the prospectors did eventually find gold in the mountains. All Sid ever found was some feldspar and alabaster quartz. He kept a whole collection.
Uh-oh.
I blink, staring out the window as the mountains just disappear, slope down into nothing. I squint, then look out of Chase's window in the back. Sure enough, mountains. Leo. God damn it. Leo speeds up instead of turning around, though.
Dude.
What are you doing? TJ's claws come out against my skin again as he gets that scared cat look on his eyes. No, you just said they were on the seat last time. Make up your mind. Leo mumbles, mostly to himself. There's no way this leads back to Echo. No way, yeah?
Leo, slow down a little.
Leo takes in a seething breath. Just trust me, okay? This is getting out of hand, but I, honest to God, don't have a fucking better idea. I'm gonna keep going until I see that car we passed. Judging by the silence, no one has any better ideas. Fuck knows I don't. Another minute of driving, more awkward silence. Then, Leo hisses through his teeth. Straight ahead of us, a sign. What? How in the shit? Echo Mine. Danica entrance. That's on the other side of town. It's got Pac-Man logic. It wraps around. I say this as if it cannot possibly be where we're at, though there it is. It stands about 8 feet tall, faded wood with that touristy Wild West font placard that the county commissioned a couple of years ago.
I love the Wild West font.
The fake-ass font. It's just a new sign.
High noon.
The sign's only readable because our headlights are right on it. The original solar face lights having been destroyed by junkies a year ago. Leo thins his lips, driving past it. The minutes pass, and it becomes increasingly difficult to place exactly where we are. On this side of town, I can see that smoke from earlier more clearly, too. The smell, like burnt charcoal, seeps into the cabin through the AC. Like a barbecue out there. Leo lets out a worried bit of laughter, that the wolf begins to pull off to the side of the road, only to flip around and go the other way again. Jenna lets out a strange sigh. It's laden with exasperation, but there's a slight quiver in her vocal cords. We keep going, and more time passes. Daxton mutters something I can't quite make out to Carl, who had been oddly silent, his paws over his face. I occasionally catch Chase looking at me in the rear view mirror. Despite his shit with the spider bite, he looks more, well, animated than I've seen him in a long time. I guess so Chase is on the left, and Carl's on the right. Because he's got to be able to see him in the reflection, and and Flynn's sitting on the right.
Some sleuthing you're doing right here.
Math! There's a lot less staring off into the distance and more active grimacing, muttered softcore swears, and a darting gaze. Softcore swears.
Ooh.
Mother clucker. I never realized how yellow his eyes are before. Were they always that bright? More time passes, and as we round a bend, Jenna crawls halfway onto the mid-seat console and points ahead.
That's where Duke and Chase's car was. It's not there now. How can you tell?
Daxton keeps craning his neck to see past me. The corner looks familiar, but where's the car?
I remember that thing. Its silhouette was outlined against the group of pinon trees by the guardrail.
TJ makes a whining noise. I recognize it too. There's no broken glass, tire marks, or blood, though. Almost no remnant of the memory to be found. Are they time traveling? Or dimension hopping too? Like, it's just gone. Like, it's just gone.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like...
Are they back in their world? Since that one didn't make sense to be here? God. There's nothing there. Leo speaks softly, as if talking to a child. It's unclear whether he's glad or upset that the grisly scene is straight up gone. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, jeez.
I look out the window. I'm just gonna watch the mountains.
Let us know if they decide to flip around.
He lets out a dry, terrified chuckle. Jenna returns to her seat, her eyebrows scrunched.
It's like we're stuck in some kind of loop.
Jenna gives Daxton an inquisitive look, seemingly baffled anyone could find humor in this.
What? It's just... Well, it's nothing.
It's just that it asked her a season, season 5, episode 12. The enemy of my enemy, or just the extent to which Star Trek fans can say the exact season and episode, and then they'll just fucking say the name of the episode. And you're like, Jesus Christ, this is real specific. I've never been this level of fandom about anything, and I love Star Trek. It's impressive.
I think it's one of the OG fandoms to have. So
yeah,
there was
I guess it's like your favorite episode. Like I know the name. I know the episode where Data's on trial is called The Measure of a Man.
But I feel like there's so many things to have a fandom about now that it's more like it's more normalized. Back then it was like, this is the one thing we have and we're gonna hyperfixate on it, and now it's like, wow, there's a lot of outlets for your interests because people understand the value of this kind of cultural medium. Go on. We've got time, apparently. Yeah, exactly. I mean...
He exhales, shaking his head.
At Astra...
Carl groans, his displeasure muffled by the pause over his face.
Some kind of... was always on the go-to line of Captain Amicus whenever he encountered something he didn't quite understand. Some kind of... some kind of... Just the
fact that he says some kind of.
Some kind of was always the go-to line of Captain Amicus whenever he encountered something he didn't quite understand.
That's not a very memorable line.
Some kind of. Yeah, that's
just how people
speak. That seems normal. I was confused by the sentence. I was like, what?
It's not exactly as catchy as engage or anything like that. Daxton leans his head back, his bald noggin pushing into the headrest.
Some kind of alien transporter, some kind of time paradox, some kind of matter replicator, some kind of reproductive goo, and so on.
Reproductive goo?
It seems to think of Lights Out. And this helps us how? Well, I don't think it does. It's just sort of funny, I guess. It's like I'm in an episode with a group of wacky characters. Wacky, huh?
Jenna responds, monotone as she returns her focus to the window.
I'm just really glad I'm not alone.
No one speaks after that.
You are alone, Paxton.
As the truck's engine pulls up another hill, I see something come into view through a clearing of cacti. Oh, fuck me gently.
With a chainsaw.
Echo mine. Danica entrance. No. TJ whines. Leo slows down more and more until we come to a gentle stop. We sit there in silence, staring at the faded text in the gravel trail that leads into the canyon head. Leo starts muttering darkly to himself, looking out the windows, then at the dashboard. I don't ask him if he's okay. I know what the answer is. TJ continues to make soft whimpering sounds like he's trying not to cry. It's okay. It's just dark and we're going off-road somehow. That'd be really terrifying if people were just like prone to driving off the road in the dark. That's a justifiable explanation in day-to-day life. Whoops, lost the road, too dark out. Like, yeah, we've invented things for that, Leo.
Well, I think you'd feel if you're going off the road somehow, yeah. Leo.
No, it's an actively nonsensical rationalization.
I mean, it's very sweet of him to try. I appreciate it.
Okay, I just blinked weird, I guess. Okay. I thought I saw a light on the screen.
Nah.
Like blinking, like beyond the billboard. And I was like, what the fuck did I just see? Leo whispers crazy. Whatever comes to mind to explain what the fuck is happening. Carl still has his head down in his paws, completely quiet. He could be asleep for all I know. I think about suggesting that maybe we should just wait it out until morning in the car.
With all the vomit?
2 people have thrown up in here. It's just, what a brutal thing to do. But as I open my mouth, I hear a scratching noise toward the back of the car. It's just dragging its weird tarantula claw down the back window.
Hook hand.
TJ's ears perk up, which lets me know that I'm not the only one. Instinctively, I turn around in my seat. Bits of glass fly into my face, and the next thing I know, I'm down in my seat, head down with my rifle raised toward the hole.
Sounds like a euphemism.
It's in the
back of the car.
Yeah, I'm just trying to parse what the fuck Flynn is doing in this scene. He's like, he hit the deck, basically.
Yeah.
He went down, but he's also pointing his gun at the source of the thing, which is the back.
So I think he jumped into his floor space, turned around, and is aiming the gun out the back window.
Ow. How would you reach... How do you point the gun at the back window
I could
from
do
any
it.
part of the front seat if you went down?
Yeah. I could... okay, so right now...
If you go down, you can't see the back window.
No, you can. If you look in between the two front seats.
I don't know if it has a between. It's a van.
No, but no, it has an in-between because Jenna leans over onto the center console to say something earlier. Like, a van always has, like, two front seats is very consistent
He pulled a
between
wild
most cars.
pull. Yeah, I got used to...
That's why I was saying, those
Yeah.
two are in the front, the next two, that's why it has to
I got
have
used to
three
the
layers.
The cake song experience.
The cake song
Yeah.
experience?
Stick shifts and safety belts. Bucket seats have all got to go when I'm riding in my car. Makes my baby seem so far. It's the whole song bemoaning bucket seats because there's your set, which is a term people don't even know anymore because that's just what seats are. But like it's the way that the front seats are like separating and have like a curve to them to hold you in place, but instead of a bench where you like you have your arm over your lady, it's on your sitting in the middle of the bench and you're driving away and so on. Bench seats are not comfortable.
The bench seats are not comfortable.
No.
I think bucket seats are like the norm, even with bench seats in the back.
Yeah. Get down!
They have an arc to them.
Carl ducks, and Jenna and TJ lurch away to their respective sides of the car. TJ accidentally opening his car door and nearly tumbling out. Ugh. Ugh.
Close the door! Close the door!
That's upsetting.
That is upsetting.
TJ doesn't have a seatbelt on.
TJ, get the fuck...
Carl
You're a
manages...
good kid. Why don't you have a seatbelt
Yeah.
on, TJ?
Carl manages to get a hold of the Lynx, trying to tug him back upright as TJ cries, flailing about. I can't get a good shot. Carl's big head bopping up and around as something moves around outside towards the newly opened car door. A shot rings out, though not from me. A wide-eyed looking Jenna holds her smoking pistol and fires again. The sharp crack reverberates around the cabin once more. Carl, very much awake now, slams TJ's door shut and screams at Leo.
Go, go, go!
Leo's already on it, and I feel the car jolt forward. Then I'm bouncing up and down in the seat as we go off-road, Leo not bothering with a three-point turn this time, instead doing a full U-turn. We're Tokyo drifting. We're back on the asphalt and speeding down the road when I feel it's safe enough to raise my head back up and look out the back window. For a moment, I'm terrified that I'm going to find that thing crouched on the trunk, staring in at us. But instead, all I see is a giant hole through the back window, the remaining glass jagged.
Oh god, are you guys okay?
Daxton looks back and forth between us and the road behind the van. Chase, meanwhile, looks like he's about to throw up again. His mucilid features are scrunched in a tight grimace as he presses himself against the seat. I sit up fully, keeping my sights trained on the back. Yeah! I yell at him over the sound of the car and the wind whistling around behind me. Jenna, did you get it?
I don't know.
Carl is bent over in his seat, too, brushing glass from his hat and hoodie. I look at TJ, who's still crouched over in his own seat, covering his head. Bits of glass are scattered on his back and head. I pick some of the pieces out from the fur on his neck and lean over him. Oh, 'cause TJ's up here. Wait. So TJ and Carl are in the front seat?
No, not on the front seat.
They have to be, because TJ keeps grabbing Flynn.
Yeah, from the middle seat.
You think he's reaching forward and grabbing Flynn? He's
Yeah.
not next to him?
Yeah,
He's not grabbing someone that's next to him?
yeah.
I don't know. Someone draw a diagram.
There's no way.
I'm not going to
that-
remember, because it's going to be like a month later. I'm just going to get
'Cause-
diagrams sent to me on Twitter.
Because, like, once again, like, Leo is driving. Leo and Flynn have a private conversation, which is privy to the person, or it is not privy to the people behind them. Jenna leans over the middle console, which means there's a middle console, which means that Flynn and Leo are in the front two seats. Carl is in the back throwing up.
I'm getting thrown off because I feel like
TJ keeps holding on to Carl, and then Chase is also throwing up, and then Jenna's in the back pointing her gun out the window. I think Daxton's back there too.
I'm getting thrown off a lot because I think with Leo, Jenna was in the front seat, and Chase was in the back seat with TJ and Carl, and so TJ was clinging to Chase repeatedly in that route.
How the fuck do you remember that?
But those lines are still here, I think, with Flynn, and that's why it's like getting confusing to read the scene. And I don't know if that's on purpose.
There's nothing about what they're explaining to me that's confusing.
You don't think it's confusing that he keeps grabbing Flynn?
Yeah, Flynn's in the front passenger seat.
That's confusing.
You can reach forward and grab a person who's in front of you.
That's not intuitive for comfort. That's a weird gesture. I picked some of the pieces out of his, and this is the thing. It's like why I'm also thrown off is that I'm just reading right now that he's like picking glass out of TJ's fur. And I'm like, what? How are you this observant of TJ's head or interacting with him if he's behind you? Like it's a wild contortion.
Reach back and like
it's getting really, the continuity's wild. It's really hard to accept what's happening in the scene moment to moment.
I used to be in the passenger seat and reach back and like feed like a bottle to like my brother or sister like in the seat behind me. You just reach around and you just, you can address people behind you if you're in the back seat of a car that has the little gap in between really helps you reach back around.
I don't buy it. I think something's up. With the scene. I don't know if it's on,
it could just be fucky. It could just be fucky, but like this is all like within suspension of disbelief for me personally.
I want technical diagrams, chat.
Yeah, let's see him, chat.
I pick some of the pieces out of the fur on his neck and lean over him. Lean over him? Okay, come on, man.
Yeah, you're leaning over him. You're reaching to the back of you. You're leaning over him. Like, TJ, are you alright?
TJ shudders and doesn't say anything as Jenna plucks some of the shards from under his collar.
Yeah, she's reaching up and pulling them from under his collar. What was that? What was that?
Daxton shouts back at us, staring through the window. Fuck if I know. I don't want to think about what I actually think it was. I just need to be ready if it comes again. Leo keeps up the high speed, hitting some of the potholes hard enough that I'm worried we're going to get a flat. Then it would be in some real deep shit. We drive for another 5 minutes in silence, and then the sign appears in front of us again. This time no one says anything, and Leo doesn't bother turning around. I watch out my window as we fly past the historic path, but nothing happens. All I see is the tall piece of wood with the broken lights, and all I hear is the wind whipping around us. Jenna keeps a paw on TJ's back as he remains hunched over, the other still holding Duke's pistol. Carl sits quietly, staring at his window. On the bright side, the bashed-in back window has diminished the smell of sick, but the smoke smell is stronger than ever. Sparse dots of light show up on the horizon, indicating where Echo is. That's when Leo speaks up. Alright, that's it. We're heading back to my place, shutting off all the lights, locking the doors, and eating toaster pastries until this all blows over.
Heading to the Winchester.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. We're going back to we're gonna go to the toaster. We're gonna crack open a pint, and we're gonna let this all blow over. And someone is just not saying who, but someone's gonna get the spaghetti intestines scene. It's just gonna happen to someone. That's just cost of doing business. I'm sorry.
It could be
dogs can look up.
It could be TJ. It could be Daxton, and dogs do look up. Yes.
It's not the worst plan in the world, for sure. Guess we have to.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do? I'd rather not meet the same fate as that guy on the blanket. Yeah, I reckon that's sound.
I shift myself onto one knee in the seat, the old thing creaking under my weight. I have to hunch low so that my head isn't smushed against the ceiling. I just have to pray that Leo doesn't hit any sudden big bumps. There's a sinking feeling in my stomach at the thought of going back to Echo. Part of me wonders whether Duke or Chase's car are still there, and we just imagine that whole grisly scene. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
This is the thing that does the thing. I don't think they're going to have any toaster strudels today, but now I want one.
Toaster pastries.
I'm going to go walk and get a taste and buy toaster strudels after this.
Or Pop-Tarts.
I don't know. It's just going to be very late. No, strudels.
Yeah, toaster pastries.
They're so much better than Pop-Tarts.
No, they are. They are.
Strudels are
but
pastries.
But they're both pastries.
Yeah, but Pop-Tarts are worse.
I'm not disagreeing with
Especially
you on that one.
your vegan Pop-Tarts you've been buying lately. I've tried those before. Those are upsettingly bad.
They were on sale.
Those are sincerely awful.
They were on sale.
It's not even the frosting or filling. It's the fucked up actual pastry is horrible.
It's like cardboard.
Yeah, it's really bad. I stare out my window, watching the hills move slowly under the moonlight as we turn onto Lake Emma Road. Maybe taking one of the mountain roads out of the town would be worth it. Whether we'd have enough gas when it happens. A crouched figure sits on the peak of the hill, just about 50 feet from where we are. It looks way further on the on this screen. Oh, it's gone.
I think we said the same thing last time. It's definitely way farther than 50 feet.
Yeah, it's there when he doesn't describe it, and then when he does describe it, it's not there. That's trippy. It goes away as he's describing it.
I think they're hoping you look down at the text.
Yeah, and look up and it's gone. I squint at it, just barely able to make out what looks like shoulders and a head hunched up under the light of the moon.
And that's where you'd look up to see it, because the description indicates you should be looking at it.
But it's gone.
But it's gone.
Oh, shit. I'm directly across from the thing when I open my mouth. I'm barely able to make a sound when it moves. Why does it disappear and reappear? That's weird. It dashes down the hill in the blink of an eye, covering the distance between it and our car in a matter of 2 seconds. One moment I'm staring at a tiny black figure, and the next it's right up against the car, smashing into Jenna's side between my door and into the side between my door and Jenna's. So Jenna's directly behind us.
Jenna's behind Flynn. Yeah. So Leo's in the driver's seat.
My head smacks into the glass and I see a flash of white.
He's just in the
middle.
middle.
At the same time, I hear Jenna shout as it holds.
Jackson's in the back.
At the same time, I hear Jenna shout at us to hold on. TJ screams. Carl yells. Those are different types of exclaiming. The lake. I watch as water begins to pool in through the broken window. The jagged glass getting carried in with the flow. Well,
and the vomit too.
We knew where this was going. Yep, we're swimming in vom. Enjoy that thought, audience.